Welcome to another video and to another organ. Today I'm in Leeds at Farsley Parish Church to look at this lovely 2-manual pipe organ. Firstly, if you haven't been to this channel before, my name is Paul and I visit pipe organs all over the place wherever I can get in. So if you haven't yet subscribed, I'd be so grateful if you would consider hitting that subscribe button and joining me on these visits. But without further ado, let's have a look at the organ. Was built originally in 1875 and it was built by Isaac Abbott of Leeds. I'm guessing that this was originally a 2-manual tracker, although there isn't a lot of information on this organ. I'm guessing that's the case. Later on, again there isn't a date, this organ was completely rebuilt by Peter Conacher, also of Leeds area. I've come across lots and lots of Peter Conacher organs, but I've never come across one before that was completely rebuilt by them. Again, assumably this was a tracker organ, but it was converted, for want of a better word, to electro-pneumatic by Peter Conacher. Originally, this was supposed to be an upgrade to a 3-manual pipe organ. Unfortunately, they ran out of funds, and so this bottom choir manual is a dud, doesn't work, it's not connected to anything, and it remains a 2-manual electro-pneumatic pipe organ. It has lots of lovely stops. Unfortunately for me, it is tab stops. I'm not a big fan of tab stops. I don't find them very easy to manipulate. But it's a lovely organ. I've had a little play. It sounds really, really nice. So as usual, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start on the grate, which is the central manual. The stops are here on the right-hand tabs. Let's have a look. The first thing to correct from that intro is that Peter Conacher is actually Huddersfield. I knew it was around here somewhere, but getting back to the grate, the stops, this is why I don't like tab stops, because you can't see where anything is. But the first stop on the grate is a 16-foot Borden. It sounds like this. Has some serious rumble on that bass. That is remarkable. 16-foot Borden, absolutely fantastic. Next we have a large open diapason, which sounds like this. Wow. I'm guessing these are in part are the front pipes, the rest will be directly behind, and that is super powerful, really loud, large, powerful open diapason. And to go alongside that we have a small open diapason. Let's compare the two. Difference between the two. I suspect that small open diapason will be used for general accompanying, and that large open diapason I would certainly use for large beefy organ pieces. Nice to have. Next we have a flute. It is a stopped diapason. It's an 8. Lovely, that is so nice. Let's try that with a small open. Another flute, it's an 8-foot Dolce. Need to try that with the stop diapason 8. So a lovely pair of flutes. That stop diapason slightly overpowering just for the Dolce on its own, but lovely. Next we have, as you would probably expect, a 4-foot, and it is a principal. Thought there was something missing there, the tenor E. Something wrong with the pipe, it's not quite playing through. But very nice, nicely in tune as well. Another 4-foot, this time it's a flute, it's a harmonic flute. A 4. Let's try that with a Dolce. What a lovely set of flutes, that's so nice, and that Dolce really adds that depth to that fluty tone, that's so nice. Moving further, we have a 12th, it's a mutation, it's a 2 2/3, meaning it plays a 5th. Couple of notes not working there, but let's try that with the 2-foot 15th, which is of course the next stop. This should add that mixture effect. Lovely, let's add the small open diapason. And the 4-foot, the principal. Responsive, and certainly for an electro-pneumatic, you tend to think an organ this sort of age, the leather might be starting to fail a little bit, but it really sounds responsive and it really has some power. Impressed. The final flue stop on the grate is a 3-rank mixture. Let's try that on its own first, see where it breaks. Can't hear that breaking. There we go. Only seems to have one break. Oh no, another break. So there's 2 breaks on there. Let's add the other principal chorus and see what that all sounds like together. Loads of power, absolutely lovely. Acoustically, this building is really well designed. No nooks and crannies for the sound to vanish up into, so travels really well. The final stop on the grate is a trumpet. Let's see what this sounds like on its own. It's an 8-foot. Wow! Lovely, lovely trumpet. Pretty nicely in tune as well. Just before we try something on there are a couple of 3 couplers actually. very difficult to read because it's so small and my eyes are old, but there's a swell to great sub-octave and a swell to great octave, so that obviously carries the swell octaves into the great to give it that bit more crispness, but sounds really nice. Let's try something on the great, see what it sounds like. Let's have a go. Tab stops, I just can't find them quick enough, but that is a fantastic organ, sounds really powerful. That is a lovely tune as well. Really impressed so far. Let's move on to the top manual, which in this case is the final manual. It is of course the Swell. Let's have a look. So just to remind you that the third manual in this case, or the first manual, whichever way you're counting from, is dud. They ran out of money to fund that, so we are moving on to the top manual, which is the Swell. We're going to start right at the bottom, and again we have a 16-foot, it's a Borden. The Swell dynamics are controlled by the balanced swell pedal, which works very nicely. Next we have an 8-foot open diapason. As you would expect on the Swell, that's quite a lot quieter than the great open diapasons. There's no surprise there, and it also has that Geigen principal violin diapason stringy sound to it. Sounds really nice. Another flute, we have a stopped diapason. Nice. Sounds really nice, has that chiffing sound, which I really like. We have a string, this time it is a gamba. Serious depth there, that is really nice. I'm going to leave that out because the next stop is a Voix Celeste or a Voix Celeste, however you choose to pronounce it. I'm not very good at pronunciation, but I think you understand what I mean. Let's see if we get that lovely beat. This is also an 8-foot string. Listen to that. Would be lovely for background accompaniment music while the congregation are gathering, or to accompany a lovely anthem. How nice is that? A little bit of Ave Verum there. Next we have a 4-foot, it is a gems horn or a gems horn. we have a 2 foot on the Swell as well. This time it is a piccolo, a 2 foot. So you have a very fluty chorus on the Swell. Let's try that with the stopped diapason. Lovely. How nice is that? And the final flue on the Swell is another 3-rank mixture on its own. Strange that breaks at middle B. Tell my left hand isn't as dominant as my right. Let's add the open diapason to that. And the 2 foot. That strikes me as a very flute-dominated manual. But it sounds so nice, really does sound nice. Finally, we have 2 reeds. We have an 8-foot cornopian. I'm expecting this to be quite beefy. Yes. Very nice. And an 8-foot oboe. Sometimes you find these oboes and they feel like they're just going to blow over in the wind, they haven't got any oomph to them, but that is such a powerful oboe and sounds so nice. Try that with a cornopian. What a lovely dominant orchestral pair of reeds, so nice. Again, we have some couplers here. We have a Swell sub-octave, not a fan. Let's try that with the stopped diapason. I'm saying stopped diapason, actually it just says stop diapason. I don't know whether that's because they ran out of space for stopped, but it just says stop diapason. You don't see that very often. But with the sub-octave. And we have the Swell octave. Adds that brightness. I'm certainly not sorry to see that sub-octave not working. I just think they're so muddy. Mind you, I might change my mind over time because I used to say that about 16 foots and now I quite appreciate them. We have a tremulant on the Swell. I should have tried this first. Can we hear it? Can hear it. Let's try it again with the stopped. So I use the Vox Celeste and the Gamba with that as well, and it does add that beat, so that is quite a nice tremulant. I don't really see the point of having a tremulant when you have the Vox Celeste and the Gamba as well, but it sounds pretty nice. Before we try something on the Swell, I just want to quickly touch on the pedals. There are 3 stops on the pedals. The first is, again, a bit like I just mentioned with the stop diapason. This is just an open. That's all you get. It's an open. So I expect it's an open diapason, but it doesn't specify that. But It sounds loud and it sounds beefy and dominant. Definitely a 16-foot open diapason, that sounds really powerful. We have, as you would expect, a 16-foot Borden. Not as dominant, but just as nice. And a 4-foot flute, 8-foot flute, I apologise. Let's try that with the Borden. Serious rumble, and when everything is coupled together I think that'll sound very impressive. And of course there are the Swell to pedal and the Great to pedal, so pretty much everything you need on this organ. Let's quickly try something on the Swell, see what it sounds like on its own. Let's have a go. Pretty powerful Swell, a bit of a bouncy tune. I quite like that, but overall I think this is a fantastic organ. A little bit disappointing to see that it is actually only a 2 manual, but it looks like an impressive 3. But still, as a 2 manual, it's still impressive. I think it's really nice. It's got everything you need. It's got the mutations, it's got lovely reeds and mixtures, loads of power, or it can be gentle and reflective, for want of a better word, when needed. But it's a really nice organ. It is tuned regularly and maintained by JM Spink here in Leeds, or Wakefield rather. I'm a bit lost in this area, so forgive me for getting the places wrong. But it's nicely in tune, well maintained, regularly played by a regular organist, and it sounds really nice. So what I'm going to do now is try something on all the manuals, all coupled together, something beefy, something loud. Let's see what it sounds like. Let's have a go. So I've played this one quite a lot of times, and I apologise if you've heard it quite a lot of times, but this is a request from Daryl, so I've got to play it. Let's have a go. That is a fantastic organ, so well cared for, some lovely stops, some lovely sounds. A massive thank you to Daryl, who has organised this visit for me. Thanks Daryl, much appreciated. And of course to the people here at this church, massively appreciated. And of course a massive thank you to you for watching if you've got this far. I really appreciate that as well. If you haven't yet subscribed, I'd be so grateful if you will consider hitting that subscribe button, which you'll find down there somewhere, and joining me on these visits. But until next time, until the next organ, I shall see you later. Bye for now.
Stop. I've got the stops down, yeah.
Everything's off.
Swell pedals open.
Daryl, you talk to me as if I've never been to an
Sorry,
organ before.
sorry. It's just me. I get a bit sort of. There's nothing to do with you, Paul. I just get a bit sort of.
I know you do. That's why I ignore you.
I just get a bit sort of.
It's like, blimey, I've only been playing the organ 5 minutes. I've never played the organ before.
No.